So hey there guys, so today's video is going to be my favorite affordable highlighters. I know that I did my favorite high-end highlighters quite a bit ago, like last month, and I haven't filmed the affordable version. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite affordable highlights. And the brand that I'm going to start off with first is obviously going to be Colourpop. So let's jump right in with those. You guys know I love Colourpop's highlights, and I pretty much narrowed it down to like my top 5 favorites. So I'm just going to go through those first. So I think I would say that this one is number 5, and that would be the Colourpop. Oh crap, I grabbed the wrong thing. Give me one sec. Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally grabbed the blush stick, not the highlighting stick. So this is Colourpop's stick highlight, and this one is the shade Bullseye. And this, I didn't think I was going to end up falling in love with this. It's really beautiful on the cheeks. It leaves a super high shine, like very intense glow on the cheeks. I feel like the swatch doesn't really do it justice. I mean, it is freaking stunning. It's this beautiful gold highlight, but it has like absolutely no glitter in it. I mean, it has a little bit of glitter, but it's actually really beautiful and intense on the cheeks, and I really love wearing it on lighter makeup days. I either swipe it on and then dab it in with my fingers, or I put it on a brush, like I put it on the tip and then I brush it on with a brush, and then I also put on a little bit with my finger and dab it on. So there's multiple ways that you can apply it and wear it, and I think that it's so beautiful and intense on the cheeks. So this would be number 5. I didn't think I was going to like this so much. It's so beautiful. Then I would have to say number 4 is the single highlighter in the shade Dreamscape. This is also stunning. This one is better for fairer toned skin ladies and gents. This one has more of like a white gold undertone, and it is so freaking beautiful and intense on the cheeks. It's just so pretty, and as you can see, it has quite a bit of pigment, and it just, their color formulas are just so buttery, and that one is Dreamscape right there. Look how beautiful and reflective and stunning that is. Again, gorgeous on the cheeks, so intense. It is so beautiful. I fell in love with this one after Kathleen Lights recommended it, and I love it. I use it so much. So that would be number 4. Then number 3, this was pretty much my first love of Colourpop's pressed highlighters, and I still love this so much. And I obviously am talking about my Colourpop Double Play highlighter in the shade Padded Down. This is actually Kathleen Light's other favorite highlight, and she didn't start talking about it till like a week or two, a month or two ago, not a week or two ago, when she mentioned her favorite highlights and favorite Colourpop products in one of her videos, where they usually do a sale on like her favorite Colourpop products. She mentioned Dreamscape and she mentioned Padded Down, and it's like I've been talking about Padded Down for so long. This highlight is so freaking stunning. There's something about this highlight that's just so intense. It's like has more of a neutral undertone. It's not really like golden, but it's so pretty. So that one is Padded Down. As you can see, it's a little bit more understated than these two. These ones are very intense, and this one is still intense, but it just catches the light so beautifully. And I feel like, again, the swatch isn't going to do it justice. It's so pretty on the face, so it's right there. And that one's more of like a champagne-y kind of color, and it's just one of my top favorites. I also love this blush as well. I use this blush all the time, you guys know that. But this highlighter is amazing. I absolutely love the highlighter in here. So yeah, definitely would not be disappointed with one of these duos. They're so good. Then the next one, of course, I feel like this is a lot of people's Colourpop favorite highlight, but it really is amazing that it's talked about for a reason. And this is Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. This highlighter is just so intense and beautiful, and the Super Shock formula from Colourpop is just phenomenal. Like, you cannot go wrong with the Super Shock formula for the eye products, for the cheek products, and for the, not lip products, but you know what I mean. So this one, again, is just so intense. Look at that. That one is Flexitarian right there. That is just so intense and metallic. Like, it's literally like a foiled highlight because of that Super Shock formula. As you can see, I do love like goldeny type highlighters. You guys have known that for a long time. But this one is just freaking stunning. I absolutely love it. I love using it to top off other highlighters. I love using it on its own because it's so beautiful and intense on the cheeks. Flexitarian is a Colourpop favorite Super Shock cheek for a reason because it is so beautiful and intense. So you cannot go wrong with this guy. And then of course, my number one is the Colourpop Disney Villains highlight in the shade Maleficent. This highlight is so stunning on the cheeks. It's one of my all-time favorite highlights. Like, look how much I've used of it. I use the shit out of this. It's so beautiful. And it's just, it's even more buttery than the Super Shock regular cheeks. These are the pressed version of the Super Shock highlights. And I absolutely freaking love this formula so much. I really wish, again, they would come out with more of these. Like, I actually really do want some of the other shades in the Villains collection, but, like, I just picked up a couple of the ones from the new Princess collection that I'm just like, I don't need more. This was my one and only from that collection. Because, of course, you guys know I love Maleficent, and that one is that shade right there. As you can see, it's not as goldeny undertoned as the Flexitarian, but it's just as intense. And sorry, my mom came in and I had no idea she was coming in. She said, I think she said my name, and then she just dropped off some clothes in my room. I don't know why. I could have just gotten them later. But anyway, so this is still my all-time favorite, has been my all-time favorite since I've gotten it, and I absolutely love this highlighter. Again, I love using this to add to other highlights that I want to make more intense. Like, when there's a highlight that I know that is going to be super intense, I always reach for this, or I reach for my Anastasia loose highlighters because those are like the most intense highlighters that I have in my collection. But this is so easy because I just take my finger and I dab it over any highlight that I'm wearing, and it just looks so amazing. So this guy is like literally, you can see it from space. It's like my all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite highlights in this video, like, if not my favorite. Because I love it so much. This one is just amazing. I love it. Oh my God. They smashed that out of the park, that formula. Okay. So I'm going to talk about just a couple of highlighting palettes, and then we'll just get into a couple of individual formulas. I really don't have too many highlighters to talk about. I really thought I had more, because I have fallen in love with a lot of drugstore highlights this past year. But I want to talk about a couple of highlighting palettes. Well, they're not just drugstore. This one you actually can't get at the drugstore. So the first palette I'm going to talk about is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. You guys, if you have fair skin and you have not tried this, this is the one product I would say to go out and try. Like, at least if you have an Ulta, or I think she's sold at Walgreens or Walmart. This is Drew Barrymore's line. And everyone talks about that this is the one product that, like, is such a standout in her line. It's like, if you don't try anything else from her line, you have to try this eyelining palette. It is so stunning on the cheeks. If you're looking for something that's intense, but you don't want it to be powdery, it's this guy. It's just such an amazing, like, wet formula, and it just looks amazing on the cheeks, and it's so beautiful. It just glides on, and they're just super buttery and super beautiful. So we have the gold, the pink, and the champagne-y kind of shade, and these are amazing. I love using these. They're so easy to use because they're just so easy to apply and they're just so intense. I don't know how she got this formula to be so amazing, but they're definitely one of the best, if not the best, drugstore highlighting palette or affordable highlighting palette out there. It's around $15. It's not too bad. I tried to pick, all the ones that I picked are under like $15. I didn't want to like tell you guys any too expensive options. Like I was thinking about mentioning my Pixie highlight, and I do love that one, but that's almost $20. I feel like it's not really affordable. I feel like it's just expensive. Um, so these are the three shades in the palette, and as you guys can see, it's not as intense as the Colourpop ones are, but it's just like a beautiful shine. But it packs a punch on the cheeks, and it just builds up so beautifully. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this. And if you don't try anything else in this video that I'm recommending to you, you need to try this because it's so stunning. And this doesn't just work for fair tones. I feel like it works for everyone because I feel like these shades are pretty universal, especially the gold shade. I feel like any skin tone could wear that, but I've worn the crap out of this and I love it and I continue to love it and use it. It's just amazing. So that is that palette. And then the other one that I absolutely love, if you want to go for something that's a little bit more easily accessible in the drugstore and you want something really intense, I would use or get the Milani Stellar Lights highlighting palette, and this one's in the shade Rose Glow. And the three shades are Pearl, Golden Quartz, and Rose Gold. These are so stunning. They're so intense. Like I've said, I've used the crap out of this too, as you can tell. Like there's a ton of powder all over the palette because I love this palette. I almost used it today because I wanted to make sure I used a drugstore highlight, but I used a different one that I absolutely love. But these are so intense. If you're looking for an intense highlight, this white one, look at this white one, and that's the gold, and that's the rose gold. These are so beautiful on the face. They are very intense, and you guys know how much I love intense highlights. So those are the three shades. That's the white, that's the gold, and that's the rose gold. That white shade is so freaking stunning, and the gold, oh my god, they are so intense on the face, and I absolutely love this little palette. So this one I think is around the same price, around $15. So again, not too bad, but as far as palettes go, these are definitely my top two favorites from the drugstore. So yeah, love those. And then we just have a couple of individual formulas to talk about. My favorite formula of highlights from the drugstore. I mean, I love all of these formulas, but definitely my favorite is the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighters. These are so beautiful. I feel like nobody talks about these, but they are amazing on the cheeks. They're so intense. They're basically a dupe for Colourpop and for the Lancome. The Lancome one that I love, the Dual Finish Highlighter in Sparkling Peach. They're basically the same formula. So, and it's basically almost the same color too, because I'm wearing one of them on my cheeks today, and that's my highlight that I wanted to talk about. I just want to take some of the swatches off of my hand because I ran out of makeup wipes, so I only have my cellar water right now, but thank God I have my cellar water because when I went out earlier today to get my nails done, by the way, I got my nails done and I got little jack-o'-lantern nails and I'm like literally obsessed, so I wanted to make sure that I filmed a video today with them. I mean, I was already going to film a haul tomorrow, but anyway, so the one I'm wearing on my face today is called Champagne, and this one is my absolute favorite. It's one of my top 5 favorite drugstore highlighters, and this one is just a beautiful gold shade. And again, it has a super buttery formula. That's why it's called a butter highlight, because that's Physicians Formula trademark. So that one is the gold shade right there. Look how intense that is. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, they're so buttery and they're so like a what do you call it? what's the formula word I'm talking about? Liquid to powder, I guess. It's not really a liquid though. Cream to powder highlight. And it's so intense and beautiful on the cheek. So I absolutely love that color. I use it all the time. And then the other one is the shade Pearl, which is more of like a white pinky shade. And I wanted like all the highlights from this collection, but every time I wanted to get them, Physicians Formula is a bit pricey. They are around $15–16, but they are a little bit more affordable than Pixie because if you go to CVS, you can always use extra bucks, or that like CVS always has coupons that they send out all the time, and you can always use one of those on one of these highlighters, and it's usually around like $12 or $13 instead. So this one is the shade Pearl, and again, it's more of like an icy color, but that one is so beautiful on the cheeks as well. So those are the two from Physicians Formula. I absolutely love those. So, and then we just have two more formulas to talk about. So the first one is, of course, my beloved Master Chrome by Face Studio highlights from Maybelline. I want to talk about all three of them because I absolutely love this formula. The cult classic one that everybody talks about is the shade Molten Gold, and this was the first color that they came out with. I was kind of upset that they didn't come out with more colors when they first came out with this, but like this was the only color that they came out with, and everybody like became obsessed with it. Like it was everywhere, and I tried it and I was like, holy crap, this is stunning. It is super intense on the cheeks as well. This, again, has like a very buttery formula. Like the drugstore has been kicking it up and stepping it up with highlighting formulas. And this one is no exception. It's a beautiful gold. And again, very intense on the cheek. So that one is Molten Gold right there. And this one is very well loved by me. And then the other color, which I absolutely adore, is the Rose Gold color. And that one was the second color they came out with. So, of course, I went and bought this one as well because I had to. Look how messy they are. I use these so much. I should have used the Molten Gold today, actually, but I just decided to use the Physicians Formula one. So that one is the Rose Gold shade. Again, beautiful. I love using that with almost every single pink tone look that I do. I always love using a Rose Gold highlight when I do like blushy toned eyes, and I absolutely love that color. And then the third one, which is probably my favorite now. This one is so beautiful. This is the Nikkie Tutorials one. This is the shade, it's just called 250. I don't know why they didn't name it. I guess, you know, they didn't want it to be trademarked by Nikkie for too long. This is also beautiful. This one is an Ulta exclusive, but I had to share it because it's so beautiful, again, for like fair skin tones. And it's so intense. Like, it's not like that white, icy white color. It's more of like a white gold, and it's so beautiful on the cheeks. It's just like so beautiful on fair skin. But again, I feel like anybody can use these tones. I feel like all of these are pretty universal. But the Master by Face Studio highlights are amazing. And then we just have one more formula to talk about. Of course, what would a drugstore or affordable highlighting video be without mentioning Wet n Wild? So, of course, I have to mention some of their highlights. So, of course, everybody knows about the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders. These were basically like the first, like really, and I feel like the drugstore didn't really have too many highlighting options until these came out. And then, like, you know, Maybelline came out with the Master Chrome ones, and then Milani came out with the Afterglow ones, which I forgot to mention when I talked about the Milani palette. And then Physicians Formula, etc. But Wet n Wild pretty much started the trend to have great, affordable highlighters, and these are amazing. Like, they're super buttery, again, kind of like a cream to powder formula, very intense on the cheeks. So that one is called Precious Petals. Of course, that one is a cult classic favorite. Look how intense that is. Like, that's ridiculous. So freaking pretty. I absolutely love that one. I use the crap out of that one. And then the shade Blossom Glow is one of my favorites as well. I use this so much with pinky tone looks. I use this a lot as like a topper over another highlight, or I'll just use it by itself for a pinky tone look. As you guys can see, I did hit corner pan on it. I think I did used to use it as like an inner corner highlight sometimes too. Um, but that's how much I love this highlight. It's the only drugstore highlight that I have pan on. So that one is Blossom Glow. It's so beautiful. Like, look, oh my God, they're so intense. I forgot how intense these are. So beautiful on the cheeks. Absolutely love the Wet n Wild ones. They're so beautiful. And then the other one is the To Reflect Shimmer Palette. This was actually Boozy Brunch by Fergie, but obviously she couldn't keep the name forever because, you know, they make their money and then they change the name back to the normal name. This is stunning. This is so beautiful on the cheeks. I got this because of Young Melon Polish. Look how gold and beautiful that is. These were bomb. Like, I can't believe I never discovered these until, I mean, I knew that Fergie had a collaboration highlight with them back in the day, but I didn't get it until way after they had changed the name back. And this swatch isn't really doing it justice. It's right there. It's so pretty on the cheeks. It's like this gorgeous yellow gold with a little bit of green in there. So pretty. I absolutely love this highlight as well. And then the last one I wanted to mention from Milani is the Milani Afterglow highlighter in the shade Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder in the shade Afterglow. I always get the name wrong of this, but it's a gorgeous like pinky highlight and it's not too reflective. So this is more for people who just want more of a glow rather than something like super intense. And it is really pretty on the cheeks as well. So that one is the Milani one. Again, it's like the least intense out of all of them. But it builds up really nicely. I really love using this when I do like lighter makeup days, when I wear a really soft like pinky look. I love using that as my highlight. So yeah, that is it for my favorite affordable highlights, you guys. I didn't think that this video was going to go by so quickly. It was only like 25 minutes, but I'm trying to get my videos to be a little bit shorter. So I just want to wipe my swatches off real quick, because if I don't, then it's just going to stay on, the shimmer's going to stay on my hand like all day. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Please let me know in the comment section below what your favorite drugstore highlights are, your affordable highlights. Is there any ones that I need to try? Please let me know. So bye, guys.